is always hotly debated who the top 10, top 5, or even top 3 players are. But what about the bottom 3? The players that truly define the word ass. But what truly defines a player as terrible? Is it a transfer bust? Is it loads of injuries? Or is it a player that just did not live up to the hype? And that is why today, the boys and I will be drafting who we think are the worst players currently in football. Boys, are we ready?
We're hyped, Millie. This one's going to be interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to check out the Patreon. Link is down below in the description. Without further ado, Millie, how's this one going to work?
Well, boys, it will not be as easy as you think. You will have requirements to fulfill to build your squad. The first one, you must draft players from each of the top 4 leagues. Second, your overall squad value must be over 200 million according to Transfer Market. And lastly, you must draft a player from your favorite team. How does that sound?
Sounds good, but it also sounds like Firms is ducking the smoke this week, not having to pick any Milan players.
Would have been a full team.
Yeah,
I'll take care of it for him.
Yeah, we won't be missing out on any Milan players.
Don't worry, he's gonna hear a couple familiar names. Definitely.
Firms gonna be punching his screen watching this.
So, boys, the order will go as follows. I will be going first, generously given by the boys. Then it will be Pala, and then it'll be Varvar. So, gentlemen, let's see who my first overall pick is. With the first overall pick, Millie FC is proud to select Rasmus Højlund, $45 million Don.
Bro, that might be the greatest first overall pick since Sidney Crosby.
Honestly, it is a good pick.
That's like a LeBron first overall pick. That's just like you have to go for it. You have no choice.
But yeah, this brother actually stinks.
Yeah.
I cannot believe. But the worst part is that I think there's a lot of Man U tax. I feel like if this brother were to leave, I actually could see him scoring.
But you're acting like he was some spectacular phenomenon in Serie A. He was good. He was a youngster.
Teenager in Serie A history.
And with how many goals? 9?
9.
Okay, but single-digit goals didn't really have much. When he went to Manchester United, everyone kind of like raised an eyebrow, saying, "That's a lot of money for a player."
But it's kind of crazy how Transfer Market still has him at 45 mil.
Forget that. Like, watch him. Like I know it's just easy to say this player's ass, but watch him. This guy's first touch is atrocious. It's never into the right space.
Bounces off.
He's getting into the wrong areas. I don't know if that. I don't even think that's Amram putting him in the wrong areas. I think he just doesn't know where to go as a striker.
I think we're gonna hear this word a lot, gentlemen. This is a black hole. Player.
Yes.
The ball disappears.
Bro, I think Weghorst was ass, and he was better than Højlund, bro.
Calm it down, bro.
He didn't take away from other players. He did not take away from other players.
Weghorst maybe top 5 overall.
Oh, he would have been one in his prime.
He would have been in his prime. He would have been here. But Højlund is the first player off the board. Pala, you have the second overall pick.
Somehow still valued at 45 million, Pala FC is proud to select at second overall Dusan Vlahovic.
Fill a quota. That's a quota filler, honestly.
No, it's not. This is the number one. This is, in my opinion, above Højlund, bro.
No.
Talk about black holes. Failed under multiple managers. Bro, Vlahovic is just not a good player.
The amount of hype that this player had coming out of Fiorentina was out of this world. There wasn't many players in Serie A that had the hype like Vlahovic did. And I honestly... hands up. When he first moved from Fiorentina, I thought he was a guarantee, bro.
So
he looked like a guarantee.
This is another black hole striker where the ball goes, but it never comes back.
Bro, his footwork, his technical ability. Brother trips over himself.
All he has left is that he's physical, but he can't stay on his feet. He always has problems with his shoes. He can't stay on his feet to be physical. So,
always an excuse with him.
Bro, I cannot wait until Vlahovic is out of my team or if his form changes, but I'm actually past the point of this.
Wasn't this guy twerking for Vlahovic this summer?
I've never twerked for him. I've always said that there was a player there, but
me too.
I'm losing that.
I've always said there was a player.
Never there.
The player has left him.
Yeah, player is definitely gone. Vlahovic making the top 2. Varvar, let's round out that top 3.
How did these two guys not pick this brother before me? Valued at 30 million it's written here. Jadon Sancho.
So Jay Sanch makes it into the top 3. I think people were waiting for this name to get off the board.
This is not an ass player.
This is horrible.
This is not an ass player.
Oh my God, bro. This is genuinely, not going to cap, one of the worst footballers I've ever watched in my life. I cannot believe
that.
For
Manchester United.
Which agency, this brother's agents needs a rise, because which agency actually scammed this brother into thinking, oh, this is a 100 mil player. This brother can't beat a man one-on-one. Every time he beats a man one-on-one, you see the flaps of fat trying to actually...
Luke Shaw flirting.
No, Luke Shaw's good, bro. Luke Shaw's good. Bro. Sancho, he's genuinely... Mentality is horrible. Mentality
It's gotten better
horrible.
since he went to Chelsea.
Completely wrong. That's why Ruby Rose is at every game, but whatever, that's okay.
I mean,
not
the
at every game.
mentality's not there, unfortunately.
The mentality that is far from there.
When he
His
was
passing-
in Germany, this man was out of this world. But Varver will bring up that's the level
Brother.
of the league, and that's what then he comes to the Prem.
Forget the Germany part. Our Chelsea fan friends are saying the club should pay us to take him back. Do you know how bad you need to be to
Wait, say that
pay
again?
someone? Chelsea have an option. If they pay us 5 mil, they can send Sancho back to our club and not do the obligation to buy. Chelsea fans are saying, give them the 5 mil, bro. We don't want this, brother.
Oh.
They're gonna
crazy.
pay us to take the player back.
Well, just because he's not worth 35 mil.
25.
Oh, it's 25?
Yeah. He's ass, bro. He's horrible.
I don't think he's that. I think
He's
still a player
horrible.
there. Bro, in the Champions League, he was good last season.
Dorman.
So the top 3 players are selected. Pala, you have the 4th overall selection.
Valued at 50 million, Pala FC is proud to select Upamecano.
Honestly,
Not a
this
stretch.
might be a veto situation. Already at 4th overall. Like I know I make jokes that he's okay. No, I can't even defend it. But Bayern fans will heavily disagree with you.
Bro, I don't care about Bayern fans. I don't know how this guy got himself a big move. Upamecano is not a reliable, good center back. The guy is shit.
I agree, but the
maybe
issue is
last season. I don't know.
I can't say no.
The problem, the issue.
Bro,
is
how
that
is he
he's
worth
been good
50
this
million?
season. He's good. He's been good this season.
But he might.
I
That's
don't
more of an overrated
Bro,
pick than it is a.
He'll get a red card. He's just not a good player. He's just not reliable.
Is it not good, or he's just not aesthetically?
No.
pleasing?
He's not a good defender. I will die on that hill alone.
I mean, I'll let the Bayern fans rip you in the comments, bro. We could just keep.
Bro,
it
I
at
don't
that.
think they exist.
I mean, Bavarians, show up, brother. You guys better show up in the comments. But looks like Upamecano makes the top 5.
I'll say one thing. If Upamecano was in the Premier League, okay, and he was if he was on Manchester United, bro, forget the Maguire hatred. Upamecano would be regarded as the worst.
Maguire.
He would be he would be regarded as the worst center back Manchester United's had in a good bit of while.
Varvar, you have the 5th overall pick. Let's see who you add to your squad.
I have Sancho. Now I got to team him up with a teammate that's as good as him, or in this case, as ass as him. It's gonna be Mudryk, 30 million.
On my list.
Alley-oop. You guys literally let me pair D Wade with LeBron. Like
He's on my list.
This is Kobe MJ.
forgot about Mudryk.
No, he's on my list.
This is like
I forgot about
brother.
Mudryk.
Like this is like the two hands meeting in the middle. This is like.
You know why I agree? It's because brother got banned for performance answering drugs,
and he was
still
ass
ass.
with the drugs.
He was still bad.
Bro, this is crazy.
How much is he worth?
5th overall?
How much is he worth these
That's
days?
what they call valeur. 30 mil.
That's crazy.
30 mil?
They haven't updated that one. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Let me get the stat. Yeah, 30 mil.
This brother is a road runner footballer. He literally there's no thought process when he plays. It's just, okay, I run at the defender. I will give him the ball directly, but at least I took on the defender.
That might go down as one of the worst,
100 mil.
worst 100 mil transfers.
that was
ever.
good.
Honestly, worse than Anthony.
Yes.
Can we agree?
Well, there's no player there.
Yes.
Anthony, there's a.
He's just not a Prem player.
Outside of the top leagues.
Honestly,
player.
I don't know how you guys feel about Anthony. Maybe we see him later in the draft, but didn't honestly make my list.
That's a veto.
Yeah,
Didn't make my
Anthony's a
list.
veto.
The reputation change that Anthony's had at Real Betis, where he doesn't make the list. He'd probably be in the thumbnail, honestly, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Manchester United does that.
Yeah.
He wasn't on my list.
Maybe Mudryk gets a loan to La Liga and he revises his career.
Girona?
But for now,
That's a Tsigankov, Mudryk link up.
But for now, brother, you are honestly who I build my team around. A pillar.
So Varvar with another Chelsea Don on his squad. Now let's see who I pick in the next position. With the 6th overall pick, Milli FC will be going to Milano and taking Joao Felix, $25 million bust.
I was gonna pair up the trio, bro. The Chelsea trio
This is not a
of
bad
Mudryk.
player.
This is a horrible
Oh,
This
player.
is not a bad player.
Horrible
I'm sorry.
player.
Not a
Listen,
bad
I gave
player.
him the benefit of the doubt when he went to Milan. You know that it's one of those situations where you think there's a player in there. It's that wishful thinking. Unfortunately, at Milan, like
bad
Kyle Walker
player.
said, bro, you ain't Messi.
Bro, you're back in
You
the
ain't
mix,
Messi.
Millie. You're back in the mix. I thought I was untouchable with that Mudryk Sancho wing pairing. No, you're back in the mix.
I had to get my cam there. had to make sure
much is
Højlund
he
is
worth?
serviced
25
very
mil.
terribly.
Okay, if this guy was never once worth 100 and something million, bro, people would regard him as a decent player.
Sure.
He's not bad.
Yeah, but
How is this guy getting moves?
yes,
still?
expectations at Atletico.
What do you mean it's a
to be an
5 million
ex-player.
euro loan?
Brother, move to Galatasaray already. Just accept your level. Like, go there.
Is that an offer? Or is that a?
The offer, supposedly. Just go to Galatasaray, accept your level. Chelsea thought they were buying some under-the-radar purchase. Oh my God, João Felix was available for 30 million,
Buying
40
the stocks
million.
low.
Yes.
Buying the stocks low.
Bro, the stocks got lower.
But brother, they didn't know Black Monday was coming.
there was like the Great Depression after the Great Depression.
Bro, João Felix is not that bad of a player.
Bro, he's horrible. Honestly,
He's
horrendous
not-
player.
It's not good. but
All
it's
the
not
creativity that you thought that you were getting from the Benfica João Felix seems to have been gone, and it comes with ego.
Yeah,
that
that's
he
true.
thinks he deserves to play.
Yep.
And star player vibes, which
Yeah.
he's not a star player. Like Milan, firms thought, oh, 5 mil loan, he's gonna come in. At least we're gonna get like no. He actually destabilized the team, made the Reindeers even worse because you had to
had to
play him
push him,
deeper.
yeah.
So it's a terrible player, terrible.
So I officially have my starting cam. Varvar, you have the 7th overall selection.
Ten Hag may have left Manchester United, but he did not leave without leaving some shit players. Amrabat, 20 million. We take that any day. Ass!
That's
I think
Worst
it's high,
footballer
though.
I've ever
I
watched
think
for
it's-
Manchester United,
I
ever.
agree, on my list, but I think it's high. It's
No.
high. It's high on the rank.
This
like,
was genuinely one of the worst footballers I've ever laid my eyes upon.
he's so irrelevant now. Like, how much is he even worth?
20 million.
20 mil, yeah, exactly.
Bro, he's so irrelevant that transfer market forgot to change his value.
They probably, yeah, that's definitely an
From
update.
before Manchester United, I think they forgot to change his value.
Listen, I would be hesitant to take him at 7, bro. You don't know if he's been good this season.
Turkish league quota filled.
Turkish league as a quota, top 4. Who was that?
Was that the hidden requirement at the
That
top?
must have been. Must have been.
Cheeto Immobile, welcome.
But no, this guy last year honestly made me want to bleach my eyes every time I watched him.
And you have to watch Casemiro last year
Yes,
too.
and Casemiro looked significantly better than him. That's what's crazy. And people just gave him the benefit of the doubt though because he had a good World Cup. No, brother, this guy's cheeks. This guy was cheeks.
I mean, that's just some Manchester United PTSD right there, brother.
Yeah.
Because at Fiorentina, he was good.
Yeah.
Like, he was a good
But he was
player.
never
in Serie A.
exceptional.
But once again, we're talking about black hole. Like it's kind of okay to have a black hole at striker. But brother, this guy's a black hole at CDM. The ball goes to him and it's getting yeeted to the other goalie.
C'est la vie. C'est la vie. That's what he says, bro.
What can you expect though? What can you expect when you're going to get like a guy that wasn't even? It's not even like he was exceptional. He wasn't like Ederson in the Premier League. He was like Amrabat in the Premier League. Oh, Serie A.
With the 8th overall selection worth $55 million, it is Gabriel Martinelli.
I had him on my list.
No, this is a veto.
Had him on my list, bro.
You
This
got
guy,
him on your list?
This guy, pre-injury,
He's not a
very
bad
good
player.
player.
He's not a bad
Recently, horrible player.
Like,
He's not, but it's not true. You don't
It is
watch,
true.
You don't
But-
watch
but
Arsenal.
unfortunately-
You need two vetoes, though.
No, but it's just a lie. bro.
Millie,
He's not a
you
bad
got him.
player. He's an overrated player.
unfortunately, Martinelli is a player that I'm sure an Arsenal fan could attest to. That is position numero uno for the summer for
Yes,
replacement.
but he's not a bad player.
He's bad.
He's not a bad player.
He-
he's bad.
He's like mid-table level.
No.
Yes. He's
Well,
not
okay,
Arsenal level.
On Arsenal, he should be a sub. But some games, this brother proves why he's still starting for Arsenal.
Millie,
so
I'll
it's
drop
like a
that down.
Vlahovic situation. Like, he's got a player in there.
No.
kinda
Vlahovic,
thing.
no player there.
Bro,
thi-
Martinelli,
This is the biggest veto. This is my ultra veto.
Bro, he is the least Brazilian winger I've
Bro,
ever.
listen, you just lost the draft because you picked a good player.
No,
Bro, I
Millie,
think that's a fantastic-
underrated pick right there. It's not Sancho or Mudryk, but you know you get some
No.
brownie
When you
points.
deep it,
when
you deep
get
it.
some
There's
brownie
no
points for
deeping it,
Varvar
bro.
FC.
He's not a bad
Brother,
player.
yes, agreed. 2-3 years ago, when Arteta like first started developing his project,
but that's
elite
different.
winger.
Yeah, elite.
Nowadays, people
decent.
still associate that level of Martinelli,
Which
but
means
he's
he's
not a good player.
overrated.
No, it's
Not
not
shit.
overrated. He's genuinely not
He's not.
good.
He's not.
Nowadays, he doesn't influence games at all when he's playing them. Trossard's genuinely better than him.
But that
Yes.
doesn't mean anything. He's still a decent player.
When Sterling plays and Martinelli plays, I don't see a difference.
That's so incorrect, bro. That is so incorrect. You'll see it versus Madrid. That'll be your first time watching Arsenal this
Yeah.
season.
The Arsenal Don Martinelli is now on Millie FC. Pala, you have the 9th overall pick.
He may not be worth much at 10 million, but this brother stinks. It is Emerson Royale.
That's
It's a decent pick. Cheeky little pick.
Bro.
a support player, but that's a top support player.
I find that's a little high. It's a little, that was not on my list.
Bro, that is the fucking Roberto Carlos of ass.
I don't know. No, I don't know if this makes sense, but like he's the Danny Carvajal of ass players.
Yes,
like,
yes.
He's just so well. He's just so well rounded at just being shit.
Oh my god.
Like he's not good at anything.
I agree with the pick. I think that could have slipped through the cracks of one of the later
it's because
picks.
it's not a high value, but it's because he's so shit that he can't be at a high value.
You know what? Not like that 10 range for the consistency of ass that he brings.
Bro,
is
when
a decent
you're
pick.
you're explaining to someone how ass somebody is. Let's say on your Sunday league team, bro, this guy's ass. This guy's like Emerson Royale ass.
He's the, well, how can we put this? He's
Not Kobe of being bad. He's not the Shaq and Kobe
He's
of
a
being
support
bad.
player.
He's like the Danny Alves of Vasquez's, if you want to put it at that.
No, that's a horrible comparison.
This man is the best all-round ass right back.
But like the Fernando Alonso of being ass.
Like he went to
'Cause
Spurs.
he's been ass for a long
He
time.
went to Spurs, and it seemed like every game was a 5 out of 10. Went to Milan. Milan thought, oh, maybe we can get something out of this guy, and it just every game was a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And Firms was, oh, we replaced Calabria at least. No, brother, it only got worse. It actually genuinely, you maybe bought the only player in the world of football that was worse than Calabria.
Just because
That's
Firms
crazy.
isn't here, because Firms can't defend himself. So
I don't think he's worse than Calabria.
Calabria leaves. They downgrade. Calabria becomes good with
Yeah,
a team
well,
that
yeah.
will make Champions League, and then doubles down. Goes
Juve
and
not making Champions League confirmed?
and then goes and get Walker, downgrades once more.
Walker's actually a decent pickup though. Like
No, on my list.
just for Firms, I might.
Oh,
be
by the
low.
way, they had Kalulu too, which turned out to be a good player.
On my list.
That's not on your list.
That's crazy.
That's not on your list.
Another Milan player off the list. Now let's see who Millie FC picks. 10th overall pick, we'll be heading to Madrid. Sorry, Madridistas. We are taking Ferland Mendy, $18 million.
No.
Bro, that's
No?
a
That's a
veto.
veto.
That's a
and
veto.
half.
That's a veto.
Bro, when you took it in your overrated draft, I was like, bro, that's a stretch for overrated.
It's really not a
Super,
stretch.
super
He is
stretch.
not
He's not
Real
a
Madrid
bad
level.
player.
He's not
Yes,
Real
he's just
Madrid
not
level.
Real Madrid level, but he's not a bad player.
There are multiple times this season where you could point to Ferland Mendy being an Achilles heel for a Real Madrid side, and he somehow still gets starts. So you're telling me that that doesn't count as an ass player,
Bro,
where he brings the team
A
down.
guy that's within the top 10 to 15 fullbacks, left backs in the world should not be on an ass.
agree.
Wouldn't be top 10 to 15 if he wasn't on Real Madrid. That is for certain.
I think being at Real Madrid puts him to a level that he can't achieve. But if he was on any other team, he'd be a very good fullback. But if he was on Milan, he'd be their best fullback.
Yes.
So the boys did not agree with my Ferland Mendy pick, but you guys let us know down below if you think that was a good pick. Pala, you have the 11th overall pick.
11th overall. This might be my best selection yet. Can't stop a beach ball. It is Andre Onana.
Oh, I'm picking Andre. Well, genuinely, like low-key, I kind of agree with this
No,
recently.
listen, bro.
It's a good pick.
This is the similar situation as Upamecano. Can be good for 80 minutes. Onana can stop shots. But when you make, as a goalie, your mistakes, same as a defender, your mistakes are exemplified. They're stretched out. Because when Onana makes a mistake, it causes a goal directly. And he's done that way too many times. This guy is ass shit. Maybe even in the thumbnail you might see him.
I'm not sure about that.
I decide.
Onana, unfortunately, not the same player that he was when he was at Inter, brother. The guy
It's the
is
same exact player.
It's
he's
not,
costed
though.
you points.
Yes.
He has never costed points at Inter.
That's
because you guys don't allow shots.
And when he's called upon, he did well.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
So you tell me, brother. You're telling me that he didn't gain a couple pounds? He's not the same goalkeeper that he
did.
was
He got a
when
little-
he was at Inter.
Little shot.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he has the same agility that he used to have back at Inter. I think that's a very...
But that's a player that you know when he leaves Manchester United will play well, and then it's
I
going to
don't
be
think so.
exemplified. Yes,
Bro,
it will.
but he's just brain dead. Like, I'm sorry if he's listening to this, but he always picks the wrong decision to make.
exemplary passer, though. My goodness.
Yes, insane. It's honestly, even that's fallen off a bit recently.
Shame. Very
Yeah,
big shame.
very big shame.
The first goalkeeper is off the board, and I think Onana is a very good pick there. Varvar, you have the 12th overall pick.
This may come with a bit of heat, but 18 million, I wouldn't take this brother for free. Lloyd Kelly, welcome to the team.
Stretch.
What do you mean
bro.
stretch? This guy's
He's been good.
horrible.
He's been good.
Horrible.
No,
Horrible.
no.
But you're telling me-
He played one good game under two
No.
doors.
But
Now
you're
he's
telling-
good.
But you're
No.
telling me that he's the 12th worst
No.
player
That's a stretch
in the
and a half.
in the world.
That's,
Yes.
that's a
top
stretch
5
and a
league,
half.
top 4 league.
Yes, he's horrible.
No.
Horrible
No,
player.
no,
Horrible
no.
player. This guy didn't even play a f***ing game at Newcastle.
No, that's a really bad selection.
Yeah,
think
really
that's a-
bad
That's
selection.
a veto plus may have lost.
Well,
the
I'm
draft.
not getting vetoed over f***ing Lloyd Kelly.
I'm not gonna say it's a veto. I'm gonna say that's a very brother. You could have picked him 33rd, and I would have been like, fine.
Nobody was touching Lloyd Kelly. Bro,
You weren't touching
He's
him.
horrible.
But
no, but listen, not
He's
an
at the bottom of the
amazing
draft.
player, but in a 3-back, he will be a decent defender.
I just think it's a reach at 12, brother.
He's horrible.
Huge
Horrible.
reach.
Horrible.
Brother, watch
player.
the first game, his first appearance, and then.
Oh,
just
it's not
never
like I've been
watched
watching
again.
him for half a decade in the Premier League.
Well, he hasn't been playing at Newcastle.
Bournemouth, he was horrible also.
Pala does not agree with the Lloyd Kelly pick at the 12th overall spot, but he does have the 13th overall pick. So let's see who he picks.
Valued at 30 million, Chelsea fans will not be happy about this one. I just don't think he's good. Cucurella.
I agree, but the comment section might disagree with you. This
Oh,
is a
Chelsea
Euro
fans,
winner.
bro, I don't care
I
about
don't-
Euro winner.
This one's
man.
tough, bro, because he's. You're saying that he's ass, but
No.
he's like consistent.
I've consistently
Yeah.
ass. I've consistently said this guy's ass since the beginning of his career.
Yes.
Actually, no, at Brighton he was pretty good.
I don't know. This one's a tough one.
He wasn't good at Brighton either.
Brother,
I don't understand why
scammed-
Chelsea
he
bought
scammed
him.
the
Still started for
transfer.
What-
Spain.
I think you
Started
guys.
for Chelsea.
I don't even know if we started this. Did we start the channel when Cucurella had gotten bought
Yes.
by Chelsea? Yeah. But in our group chat, I literally sent the transfer and I said this is going to be known as one of the worst transfers in Premier League history.
Okay,
Bro.
known as one of the worst transfers.
Listen, okay,
50 mil for that shit, brother.
There's worse.
he's been better this season. He's been all right.
Yes.
But they're like that is by far his peak in my opinion. He doesn't get better than this.
You are now winning a Prem with Cucurella at left back.
I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. He doesn't excel at anything a fullback should excel at. He's not exceptionally fast. He's not great on the ball. His decision making is poor in my opinion. What is he good at?
If you just showed me a highlight tape, I would tell you that brother must be playing at Leganes, no?
I see it. I see it in like a Mallorca kid or something within the next couple years.
So another Chelsea man is off the board. It is now up to Varvar to see who is picked at the 14th spot.
A lot of people may have forgotten about this brother, but not me. The Madridista, the biggest Madridista in the world. Jesus Vallejo, 1 million. This brother is
okay.
so ass that Real Madrid call up youngsters to even play in front of him. That's how ass he is. And his value is only 1 mil. So I'm literally taking the player just because he's so ass.
So you decided to just rip on a guy.
Madridista for no unnecessary.
My Madridistas do not claim this guy. They're waiting for him to leave the club. That's how bad he is.
That's
they
crazy.
signed this guy thinking, oh, we're gonna get a young player back. I think he was from the Madrid academy. Oh, he's gonna be so good. We signed him to a long term. But this guy has been shit. He hasn't played in 3 years. That's how bad he's been.
Yeah, it's been kind of rough.
It's irrelevant. I guess because if he wasn't at Real Madrid, then we would not be talking about it.
Yes.
If he was at Deportivo, I'm sure there's worse players.
No. He went on loan. He was still ass on loan.
It's rough. It's been a rough career for Jesus Vallejo because I think there was, at one point, he was highly rated.
Yes.
Yes. But now, unfortunately, he's just rotting on the bench.
And my back line of Lloyd Kelly and Vallejo is looking beautiful. I'm probably allowing 4 or 5 goals a game at this point. So that's.
You're really
There
genuinely
might
making
honestly
it
not
nasty.
be a more ass player on this list than Jesus Vallejo. He might take the crown. Steal at 14, if you ask me.
We are nearing the halfway point of this draft, and it is now the 15th overall selection by Millie FC. Millie FC is proud to have the 15th overall selection. We'll be going to Manchester. Casemiro, welcome to Millie FC.
That's a good one.
You actually took my next pick.
You thought he was going to slip all the way down. I was waiting for the right time, brother.
Another black hole midfielder. I had to actually watch this guy and Amrabat in some midfield pivots.
Bro, I got a whole solar system of black holes on this team. Joao Felix, Martinelli, Højlund, and Casemiro. Brother, this ball is going to end up just in the middle of the pitch, just floating around.
Even against Manchester City, after Manchester City, the stats people came out after the game. Oh, he won this amount of tackles. He won possession this amount of times. Brother, every time the ball went to him, it got sent to Manchester City's away.
It was terrible.
Crazy.
Absolute
The fall off
abysmal.
is crazy because Varvar once said that this was the best CDM of all time.
For 3 months, 4 months in his first season, he was genuinely world class.
So that was the Real Madrid stint that was
Yes.
still there, and then it wore off a little.
Yes, but then I don't know what the happened. The guy said, I can't pass anymore. Like,
But played out of position by.
He
Ten
joined
Hag.
Manchester
he
United.
was not played out of
I
position.
mean, bro, we all know Casemiro should not be alone, ISO'd in an island.
Well, he was at Madrid.
Yeah, it helps when you have
Yeah.
Kroos and Modric next to you, but when you're literally the sole midfielder and you
He
have
gained
no
a
pace,
couple pounds. That's what I
Yeah,
think
but
was the
also, bro,
issue.
you were bringing him to a more physical league, a quicker pace league, and expecting him to break up counters. Bro, looking at Casemiro trying to break up a quick Premier League counter,
La Liga, he was the greatest of all time at doing it.
that's a great
his
great
prime.
pickup.
In
That's
his
a great
prime,
pickup,
Ron.
Millie.
Honestly, I was about to fill my Man U quota with that pick. Now I need to reevaluate.
I got a couple Man United players if you want.
worth 12 million, by the way.
That's crazy.
Well, I take that any day of the week.
So the legendary Casemiro, welcome to Millie FC. Varvar, you're up next.
There is a Manchester United quota to fill, and Millie took my Casemiro pick, so I'll sadly be taking Christian Eriksen.
So that's your Manchester United pick.
Yeah, I was gonna
Off the
pick.
board.
I was gonna pick Casemiro before him, but I'll settle for Eriksen. You know, this brother. He actually looks like he can't run anymore. It actually is. It looks like it's painful for him to run. Like that's what it actually.
We're
looks
doing like a ban for ban on more Juventus or Manchester United players or Milan. Okay, Milan's currently in the lead. I
But
think.
we're seeing a trend here of Manchester United, Milan players, and Chelsea players.
Chelsea
Juve
players.
not as much. Lloyd Kelly and Vlahovic really doesn't move the needle for me.
I don't think
But
it's
I don't
it.
know. We may see
Yeah, I
more
don't
Juve
think
players.
that's. I don't think that's it, man.
We may see more Juve players, but Eriksen, unfortunately, not the player he was even 3 years ago.
And technically, too, like his first season, he would play passes where you're like, oh, okay, you can see why he's there. But now you can't even play him more advanced. He's unathletic where you can't even play him more advanced. And as the sport gets more and more dependent on athleticism, and Eriksen gets worse and worse,
Yeah.
it becomes more and more
Bro,
useless
this
by the
just
day.
screams of a Turkish player.
Well, when he
Bring
was
him back
at
to
Inter, bro,
Inter.
what a player.
Yeah.
What a player.
Would you rather, actually, who do you think was better at their peaks at Inter, Çalhanoğlu or Eriksen?
Çalhanoğlu.
Eriksen had moments. He was very good. He had moments. But Brozovic and Barella were better than him, unfortunately. I loved Eriksen when he was at Inter, but Manchester United version ain't the same, brother.
No.
Ain't the same. Definitely a good pick at the 16. Back to Millie FC for the 17th overall pick. With the 17th overall selection, Millie FC is headed back to Milano to find another Red Devil. It is Tomori, $20 million.
Good pick. Definitely on my list.
Mori
High
on the
up on
list.
the list.
Not a bad
On the list.
player,
No,
man.
Horrible
listen,
player.
I'm sorry.
Horrible.
When they won the Scudetto, Milan, Tomori, I will say that he was a top 5 center back in the league. He was very, very good. But unfortunately, the quality isn't there. And listen, he's coming from England, so you're expecting physicality. You're expecting him to handle
Okay,
Serie A
definitely
very
has
well.
physicality.
Yes, but unfortunately in Serie A,
That's all he got.
But in Serie A, he really doesn't show it.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
He's physical.
I don't know if bro. Tomori, there's a player there. He's gonna get a transfer.
It just-
maybe
just-
Juve
You're there.
this
When's
summer.
that player coming out, bro?
It just looks
Getting
like
older by
it's
the year.
painful for him to process information quickly. Like it looks like he just can't process information quickly. Every time he tries passing the ball, it goes directly
Welcome
to
to
the other team.
Juventus. Welcome to Igor Tudor 3-back.
No, the Tomori, unfortunately.
Enjoy sixth.
We're not sixth.
Tomori definitely making my list. I'm glad that wasn't vetoed, gentlemen. Pala, you have the 18th overall pick.
18th overall, valued at 7 million. Honestly, still too high. It's Brian Cristante. I don't know how Cristante wiggles his way into Italian starting 11s. I don't know how he still starts for his team. Cristante is just not a good footballer.
Not up to par.
Yeah.
Really not up to par. Poor footballer.
Yeah.
At an international level, he cannot handle anything.
Listen, disclaimer. Maybe we should have said this earlier. These are all exceptional football players in the world. They're all at the top level.
Well,
So they're all
you're playing in
great.
a top 5
I don't
league.
know about Cristante, bro.
No, Cristante
listen.
playing a Sunday league, you can tell.
brother,
Like,
brother,
okay, yeah.
when he, because he's eligible for Canada also.
Are you
when
serious?
When he picked Italy, it was kind of a sigh of relief. Like, whoo!
Yeah, I bet.
We beat the Cristante allegations. Okay, let's
No, but
move
see, he would-
Samuel Piet, you keep your starting spot.
He would be good at it. He would be good for Canada.
No, he wouldn't.
Bro, come on.
Brother, this guy is so bad. I actually believe he would probably be Panama's worst player.
Okay, bro, that's crazy.
Panama's worst players. Crazy.
Like Godoy might be better than him in center mid for Panama.
We've lost to North Macedonia with Cristante in the middle. So, like, The Spain demolishing in the Euros, Cristante was victim
What's he
numero
good
uno.
for other than set pieces?
Even at that.
Yeah, even at that, I didn't even know that was a special.
Even at that, he's just tall and somewhat physical, but brother, he is slow.
Roma
Can't pass.
has some sleepers for this video.
Yeah, honestly, kind of crazy. But in the 19th selection, it is Milli FC. The 19th overall selection calls for a truly ass player. We are going to Dortmund. Gio Reyna, welcome to the club.
That's a decent little pick.
Honestly, that's a sleeper pick. This guy went on loan to Nottingham Forest, played like 2 games off the bench, did nothing.
But you know why I bring him up? Because Copa America. I will never forget I picked him as my breakout player
And
of the
didn't
tournament.
play a game.
Didn't play a game because of beef in the U.S. men's national team.
He's a Nepo call-up. Do you know how
Nepo
crazy
call-up.
that is?
This brother can't play. He can't play. Doesn't want to play for the U.S. and barely plays for Dortmund, and he's not good.
The question arises: who is the more ass player from the USA, Reyna or Dest?
Reyna. Dest right now is actually playing well for PSV, I believe.
Dest still retains a starting spot
Yes.
for the U.S. Bro, Reyna,
isn't-
it's like people look at him and
Dest
they're
is
like, why
Milan
you still-
stint.
You're playing him at right wing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing him right wing. Unfortunately,
perfect. That'll be even worse.
Because he was supposed to be Pulisic 2.0.
How'd
So
that work?
now maybe he can revive his career at Milli FC.
Rejuvenation Station over at Milli FC. Oh boy, these teams are looking
Very
egregious.
ass.
Egregious, gentlemen. Paula, let's round out the top 20.
At 20th overall, place for my gunner, so this was a tough selection, but it is Raheem Sterling.
Good pick.
Very good pick.
Good pick.
You won't get contesting from over here.
No
I know.
contestant over.
But like, I don't know what we expected buying Sterling. I don't like
Loaning Sterling.
Yeah, but what do you expect? Like, it wasn't good before. It's not good now. It won't be good next year.
Unfortunately, it was one of those value picks that you try to make because you think the player still has a bit left in.
But I don't know how he fell off so much. Because he relied on things that I didn't think he would lose with age. He was just like, I feel like he was always going to keep that agility.
Technical ability.
No, it's his
agility
pace is gone.
Bro, he aged like milk.
Yeah.
But I see, if he played in the Bundesliga, the same way like
He'd be
Sané
Serge
did,
Gnabry.
He'd be Leroy
He'd
Sané.
literally be Serge Gnabry.
I honestly think that, I mean, there's always been the conversation he started too young, and then that's kind of caught up to him. So,
It's that running form, bro.
yeah,
T-Rex running form.
not the best form, unfortunately. But Sterling, definitely a good pick at the 20 spot.
And let us
Barbara.
not forget that Arteta thought it was a good idea to sign this guy. I know you mentioned it, but it needs to be
advocated
brought
for
up
it.
again. Like
Advocated.
that needs to be like, we can't just brush over the fact.
The fact will not be brushed over, Varva, but you have the 21st overall pick.
Let the chaos ensue. Thomas Muller is ass. 6 million. This is current
Horrible.
day.
Horrible
current
selection.
day.
Horrible
Thomas
selection.
Muller.
But current day, you
Horrible.
could say about half these players current day.
No.
Horrible. Veto. Instant
No,
veto.
he's horrible current
Instant
day.
veto.
The current day Thomas Muller is not the Thomas Muller that we knew. Amazing player back in the day. Agreed.
Brother, he's
Not an icon,
35, 36,
but
and he's leaving at the end of the season. Like, you knew the time
he's
was
not a
coming.
good player. What are we debating
You're
here?
gonna see
It's
it
not
versus Inter.
overrated.
You're
He's
gonna
just
see
not
it.
a good player.
There's still a good player there.
I don't think you'll see it versus Inter, but
You will.
Offside, you
Yeah.
offside. Bro. Oh, TBD.
Thomas Muller!
Thomas Muller, the GOAT!
That's an instant veto.
No.
Bro.
Millie, do it to him.
Millie, you know that's not a veto.
Like, he's not great.
Play him 38 games this season. How many goals and assists are you going to
You're
play?
not going to play the brother 36 years old.
Because he's horrible.
Because he's old. It's done.
If his name wasn't Thomas Muller, would he be playing at Bayern right now?
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He's trash.
Bro, he's a leader.
It's not like KDB where he's genuinely still good at Man City. He's genuinely horrible.
Bro, Bayern fans 100% would say keep
It's
Thomas
time to
Muller.
go.
No.
No, it is. I think
No.
they would say it's time to
Oh,
go.
it's time to go. Yes.
Yes.
Soon.
It's
But
not a Griezmann
in the last
situation.
2
It's not.
seasons, he's taken that leadership role. Bro, Thomas Muller's been a very
He's a
important piece
horrible
to Bayern.
player.
I don't think so.
What the f are we doing?
Bro, he comes on for 25 minutes, and those are very good 25 minutes.
No, they aren't.
That's a veto in my eyes.
I'm not going to veto it because I do genuinely think he's not that level anymore. But to say he's ass is kind
Horrible. Genuinely horrible.
He doesn't cause negatives to his team.
Yes, he does. By being on the pitch, it's a negative.
Well, gentlemen, the teams are starting to shape up. Pala, you have the 22nd overall pick.
At 22nd overall, Inter does not miss many transfers, but this one was definitely a missed. Davide Fratesi.
Good pick from an Inter fan. Good pick.
Yeah, watched him against Milan, brother, every single touch. And there was at one point where he started dribbling backwards, back to his own goal.
What do you mean?
And then he got tackled by a Milan player, and Milan went on a counter-attack like 3v2.
It was just the worst performance I've
How much
ever
do you guys pay for him?
30 mil, no?
30 mil,
30?
35 mil, something like that. It was a gamble. Italian.
Yeah.
Italian player from Sassuolo. Always going to get you, bro.
Yeah.
Always going to get
Not me.
you.
They
They
didn't
got
get me.
scammed with Locatelli.
They didn't get me.
Scammer gets scammed, bro.
Didn't get me, bro.
Locatelli definitely on the list. Definitely on the list.
That's crazy. That's a
I've
veto.
already picked my center mids, but
Failed rage bait attempt.
I veto that.
Failed rage bait attempt plus ratio.
what's written right there?
Okay.
I think that is a veto. Locatelli is a veto.
Bruno Fernandes!
Millie, what's written right there?
Bruno G.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Bruno F.
Yeah.
Listen. He's all yours, bro. He's all yours, bro. This guy's
Just
straight
for you, my
fucking
friend.
hot garbage, bro. If someone offers us 25, 30 million for him, take it. Just cut your loss.
Bro,
and take it.
25?
I'll take it.
It's the
Please! 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 Yeah! 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 God! Yeah! Yeah! I was expecting him to be inter-level by this point. He's not inter-level at this point. I do think that if like a Roma or someone, a Fiorentina comes along, 25 mil, offer on the table, take it.
20, bro.
Take it. Bro, he's 24. He's
Yeah, but
23,
15
24.
mil, just get rid of it.
Bro, Scamacca was going for 30, 40 million with a chicken bone ACL. Like, brother, take him 25 mil. It's all yours. Varvar. Let's see how you could counter that Fratesi pick at the 23 overall selection.
How does transfer market have this guy written down as $40 million right back? This is Rico Lewis.
That's a good pick on my list.
Is this the first Man City player off the list?
Yes, this guy reeks.
He was on
And
my list.
The worst part about him is his little fucking rat attitude. Like, it bothers me. I just want to fucking... Rico Lewis, like, you're always welcome on the podcast, but I just want to punch him.
It's a player that doesn't have like a proper position.
Yeah.
He doesn't play good anyway.
His face bothers
I
me.
think Varvar said this in the overrated draft. He was bred to be an inverted fullback
Yes.
in the age of inverted fullbacks, but that has reverted.
Yeah, it has
And
not been.
he's been
going
left in
well.
the dust.
Yes. Bro, this guy, at the end of the day, he's just an unathletic guy whose passing is all right.
Yeah.
That's what he is at
If
the
he
end of
wasn't
the
at
day.
Man City, like he can find himself a little something.
If I'm an elite winger and I look up and I see Rico Lewis is 1v1 against me, it's cash money every
but
day of
that's
the
why he
week.
got moved to the midfield, and he was all right in the midfield for a minute.
But he's not physical enough to play in midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
but Lisandro's physical enough to play center back in the Premier League.
Lisandro was good.
On my list, by the way.
Sandro was definitely good enough to play in
Might
the
actually
Prem.
be on my team
Yeah.
soon.
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep.
So the first Manchester City player is off the board. Rico Lewis, welcome to Varvar FC. Now let's see who joins Millie FC. With the 24th overall pick, Millie FC will be looking between the posts. We are going for Ederson, $25 million terrible goalkeeper.
On my list, Millie.
I'm not going to veto it
Another Man
because I
City dog.
debated it. So,
Yo, okay, you thought about it.
yeah, I thought about I didn't write him down, but I debated
Listen,
it.
he's
How come-
overrated. He's overrated. But to say he's shit,
He has, I think, has the worst shot save percentage in the Premier League.
he
Yeah,
just
it's
lost all of his
possible.
confidence this season. I don't know what Pep did to him behind the scenes, but
Because he wanted to go to, I think he wanted to go to Al Nassr this summer for a major bag. They didn't allow him to leave. So,
Sabotaging. Converse.
well, then they started playing Ortega over him, and then that killed his confidence. The guy
but
that
Ortega was asked too.
Yeah, the guy that was once amazing on the ball, one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in the world, became completely unsure of himself on the ball.
I really don't think he's that player anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Goalkeeper anymore. He's not playing at a top level. Passing is off. Shot stopping is way off. So definitely, I think, makes this list. Varvar, you have the 25th overall selection.
Do something in half a decade challenge impossible. Ben Chilwell, welcome to the team. $18 million. I can smell.
Vito.
Vito.
What?
Vito.
No. You guys are still
Vito.
using 2020. Ben, no, you guys are. Oh my God.
Didn't I literally bring up Ben Chilwell as a terrible player, and you said no?
No.
Vito.
Brother.
No, you said Colwell. Vito,
I
though.
always mess up the two.
Chilwell, Vito.
You guys are
Vito.
stupid. The comments are gonna rip you guys. You guys don't know what you're signing up for. Ben Chilwell is horrendous. He doesn't even start for Crystal Palace on loan right now. He's so bad. He's so bad. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you guys actually have to watch people like this actually discuss football. It actually would be painful from a standard POV.
Gun to the head, and they have two options. Either they like beg for their life, or they pull what Varvar is doing right now. You don't know what you're doing. I'm so important.
No.
Gaslighting the gun
Gun to your head, start Ben Chilwell, or I don't even know. Gun to your head, start Ben Chilwell, or start some random 15-year-old off the street in London. I take the street off of London.
You take the street off of London?
I'm still vetoing it. It hasn't changed.
This is a horrendous player. Honestly, the worst left back in the Prem, if I had to pick right now, honestly, today.
You're getting gassed there right now.
Wouldn't start at Southampton.
You vetoed it?
I already vetoed.
Okay, veto. It's a veto.
Sure, I don't give a about you guys vetoing because the people watching know Ben Chilwell's horrendous.
This is why we just make it black and white.
They still think that Ben Chilwell is at that CL level from
Guys,
a couple
I'm gonna
years
tell
ago.
you what the fuck you think, okay?
No, I'm saying what you guys think. Crazy. There's a lot of bad shouts on this channel, but that might be the worst one.
Yeah, you're right.
With the 26th overall selection, Millie FC will be headed back home to Inter. We'll be getting Aslani.
Yep, Millie just won the draft.
Yeah,
Listen,
they
we're
really
gonna do a
thought-
draft of ass.
Yeah.
And we don't pick
I can't
Aslani?
believe I haven't, bro. I thought about this on the way in this morning. I thought about it last night, and I never once thought of Aslani.
No, it was definitely written on my list right there.
Yeah.
Aslani. Worth 15 mil, supposedly.
Somehow, some way. Honestly, this season was a very big litmus test, and he's out of here. Let's just say he's not what we expected.
A player with ass in their name is never going to pan out. But how much do you guys buy him for?
18?
Scammer gets scammed.
Marotta, somebody needs to be.
That's a scammer gets scammed with Marotta.
Not really, bro.
Aslani.
Not at the time. Like, it made sense. He was very good for Empoli. Got him on a cheap.
Has Marotta signed any good players?
Conversations, I guess the comments are going to have to...
You tell me. No, Millie, I'm actually curious. Because Barella, Chala,
Yeah.
Bastoni.
Was all him.
Chala.
Barella was Morata.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Possibly. I don't remember exactly.
I don't
It was.
think so, bro.
Yes.
First year? Yeah, because it was Conte year.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Barella was Conte year?
First year Conte.
Okay, you're good. You're
We're
valid.
okay.
You're
We're all
valid
right.
in the hood.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even with the hits, there are some misses. Aslani, welcome to the ass team.
Millie, what would you say his best trade is?
Has no good trade.
That's a good character.
Gonna keep it a straight buck. He's not physical.
I can't take your scouting report serious because you think Ben Chilwell is actually an acceptable level footballer in 2025.
Aslani can't pass. He's not physical enough. His awareness and agility are
You're
not
describing
up to par.
Ben Chilwell.
One place for my club though, and we're vying for Champions Leagues and Scudetti. So unfortunately, Aslani.
Ben Chilwell has more CLs than your entire squad combined.
Exactly. So, Aslani, welcome to Millie FC. Pala, you have the 27th overall pick.
27th overall, valued at 15 million, does not deserve to wear the Barca colors. It is Eric Garcia.
Good pick.
Won't veto it.
This guy's horrible.
If Christensen was healthy, Garcia would not be seeing pitch. Would not be seeing the first team, in my opinion.
Bro, if Garcia hops on the leg at any point in the CL, Barca will lose.
Is this a Varvar statement?
Varvar statement.
Varvar
What happens
guarantee.
if like Kubarsi gets a suspension, let's say? Oh no, they have three. They have Inigo, Kubarsi, Araujo. So
But
he doesn't touch pitch.
I'll never forget that one time when I was in the Discord during a Barca game and they were losing 1-0 and I said, you're losing 1-0 and you sub on Eric Garcia and then he proceeds to score his only goal of the season.
Yep. That was really good. That was a Varvar jinx.
2
right there.
seconds later, he scored from the corner.
That was the most Varvar jinx I've ever seen. In my life. That's crazy. Yeah, but Eric Garcia, definitely a good pick here. Welcome to Pala FC. It is now back to Millie FC. With the 28th overall pick, Millie FC is terribly ashamed to select Milan Skriniar. Genuinely.
I mean, you can have him just because it's just
Genuinely.
so irrelevant. When's the last Milan Skriniar game that anyone in world
When's the
football has
last
watched?
Amrabat game that we've watched?
Last year.
Oh, last year. Yeah, Skriniar was playing for PSG last year.
And he was fucking irrelevant.
Just as bad as Amrabat.
No.
Yes.
He was irrelevant.
Skriniar is.
No one watched
Forget
PSG
irrelevant.
last year.
Forget irrelevance. This brother does not know how to defend anymore. I am so. This
You
is
watch
not
him?
the player. I've seen, bro. It's PSG. I make sure to hate watch. I've gotten my hate watches in because he ratted out Inter. But not the player he used to be. Mind you, it could have been due to injuries and whatnot, but
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
PSG fans will
It just
tell
doesn't
you.
move the needle.
PSG fans will tell you he was abysmal
Yeah, that's true.
for PSG. Abysmal. They wanted him out. They thought they got fleeced. It was a free transfer. Free transfer, and they thought they got fleeced. So, Skriniar, welcome to Millie FC. This is the only time I will be picking you for anything. Pala, you have the 29th overall pick.
29th overall, I am very proud to select a 35 million euro overrated player. It is Jack Grealish.
Good pick.
No, you do not have an enemy in me on this pick.
He dropped, but this is a bad player.
Well, listen, the lower you drop, technically, the less ass you are. So
No, but
this
this
is
guy-
a good
That's
level.
what I'm saying.
No, this could have. You could argue this could have been around João Felix level.
Ooh, top 10.
Yeah, this could have been.
It's in the echelon of price.
This was honestly was one of the first names I wrote down on this list.
Really?
Yes,
There's
but
a lot
Jack
of names.
Grealish has shown in the past that he has the ability.
I know, but he hasn't had any standout performance in the last
3 years.
3 years.
That's like Sancho in the past has shown that he had the ability.
At least Sancho has had you have the Dortmund stint to kind of.
He wasn't even that good at
Help.
Dortmund, but yeah, sure.
He's at Champions League games where he had the most dribbles in Champions League history.
Wanker.
So we quantify dribbles, but not like goals and assists.
Well, that was in the Champions League.
Okay.
Something that Manchester United doesn't play in.
Listen, Grealish.
Once again, wait for us, bro. Europa win.
Bro, I will
Just
be waiting.
wait until.
I thought we don't count those.
Someone clip that when we're playing CL next year and Juve are in
Barbar.
Azkaban for their
Barbar.
round
Next season?
their playoff game in Europa League. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, clip that, but we're not even in the contention for the top four. We just have a pipe dream of a Europa draw.
Literally. But back to Grealish, gentlemen. Grealish, very, very good pick there.
He's so
Honestly, has
bad that
lived
there's
up
not
to
much
par.
to talk about with him.
Has not lived up to par. So, definitely deserves
Every
to be
time he tries to dribble through someone, it looks like he's in slow motion, and he just falls every
Also
time for a
Pep,
foul.
though.
Poor
Also
decision
Pep.
making.
Doku fits the Pep left wing position way more than Grealish. And then when Grealish goes on, he tries to do what Doku does, which is that cut in to try to beat the full back. It just doesn't work.
Since that trouble win,
Yeah,
brother
put-
just decided to check out.
Put the
all
fries in
day.
the bag.
So Grealish, another Man City Don, makes it into this draft. Varvar, let's round out the top 30.
Try and not get relegated. Challenge impossible. Aaron Ramsdale. It's written 60 million. Who's paying that for him?
Not a horrible pick.
Was my
Bro,
third
he's
name.
horrible.
Bro, I had
He's
Onana, Ederson, Ramsdale.
3 relegations now he's had in his career.
Yeah.
3.
but
This guy
that's not
did the
his fault.
treble. This guy did the treble.
It's not necessarily his fault.
It is his fault.
Bro, he's a great shot stopper.
No, he's not.
Which doesn't make him
he's
a bad
an
player.
average shot stopper. It's just that he's English. This is English tax.
He's a
this
good-
is what you guys. This is the first time I will agree. This is English tax. How this brother still gets call ups to the international team is beyond me. He can't pass a ball.
That's
One.
the problem.
And 2, his shot stopping is just average. But just because his passing is so ass that it makes his shot stopping seem like his strength.
So is this your 30th overall pick?
30th overall pick, yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
I still got striker left, huh? I still got a big boy.
You're really
Come.
keeping that for the end, huh?
Yeah,
The best
because
for
you guys
last.
picked your first 2 picks as strikers, so I could have left it to the end.
Romelu Lukaku, welcome to VAR FC.
That's what bro, he was on my
Romelu
list.
Lukaku.
On my list.
Lukaku's not even close to the list.
Barber doesn't even want to hear about it, but
Yeah.
Ramsdale, definitely conversation.
And I need 15 mil worth striker. I still have 15 mil to fill, so.
Oh, I think me and Pala are way past that.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Pala, you have the 31st overall pick.
31st overall, somehow still valued at 15 million. Juventus was supposed to sign him. Thank God we didn't. It is Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, that's a good pick. This guy, Man City move literally murdered his career.
One of those players you thought maybe if he leaves City, he does better.
Almost went to Juve.
Brother did worse.
That's
Oh,
why I had to keep watching him, because he almost went to Juve.
Would be the best center mid in Serie A, like I said.
a couple Juve midfielders didn't make it here.
Gentoli, a couple of Gentoli prospects in here, no?
It's very close.
Couple of Gentoli
No,
scouting
he's
missions
saying there's a
here.
couple center mid.
Saying we didn't pick.
Oh yeah, Locatelli.
That's the first name.
Bro.
It's the only Juve player I have in center mid.
But you
Barbara,
don't,
is your last position goalkeeper?
like I know you can rage bait it, but to write it down, like, do you think that, or you just actually don't watch,
I think
or
that,
you don't know ball?
I think Locatelli is genuinely a false footballer.
Douglas Luiz has been worse than Locatelli this season. Koop Miners has been worse than Locatelli.
Look,
Yes.
Douglas
Bro,
Luiz is a way
Locatelli
better
ha-
player than
has been the best
Locatelli.
Locatelli has been one of our best players
Yes.
this season, but
Locatelli
Varva
and
continues to not he continues to not watch.
Brother, it's Calvin Phillips we're supposed to be talking about, and
Did you watch last game, Locatelli?
no, I do not tune
Going outside the
into
box.
Juventus on a weekend. Do I look like I don't enjoy my life?
Yes.
As
Manchester
a casual,
United
I'm
fan.
supposed to turn into
Manchester United fan, by the
Igor
way.
Tudor ball for pleasure.
Second game, bro. Locatelli scored an outside the box half volley.
Yeah.
But you didn't watch.
No one gives a f.
I care.
So the Ipswich man, Calvin Phillips, heads over to Pala FC. Varvar, you are down to your last position. Let's see who it is.
With my final pick, Richarlison.
That's an amazing pick. That is a spectacular
And
song.
He
the
hasn't done anything since then.
celebration
He hasn't
doesn't
done
help
anything since
himself.
then.
He
Yeah.
doesn't
Bro,
help
this
himself.
might be
bro.
like NHL third round, or like a Tom Brady last selection overall. Like
Mr. Irrelevant.
This guy got his teammate tatted on him, bro. He has Neymar tatted on him.
Glaze.
That's crazy. He
Holy
doesn't
Glaze.
help himself. And
no,
he
there's
goes,
a couple wires that are shorted in
how much did he
Richarlison.
cost? 70 mil? Crazy.
Forget about that. He's just bad.
Insane.
From
He's
his Everton
bad.
days, yeah, no, unfortunately, that was definitely a transfer bust.
Yes.
That's one of the prerequisites for ass player transfer bust. Check.
Flew straight under the radar too. Like people don't really speak about it in terms of transfer bust when he's probably arguably one of the bigger ones.
Yes, I agree. That's a very, very good pick at the 32. Gentlemen, we are down to the final pick of the draft, number 33. Let's finish it off with Millie FC. And with the final pick of the draft, Millie FC is terribly embarrassed to select Lucas Vasquez. You're our starting right back.
There's no better way. You go under Madrid IG comments and
They want him
it's
gone.
all, why is Lucas Vasquez starting? Why is Lucas Vasquez starting?
They're fixing it. They're fixing it this summer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Imagine going
definitely
from
not
Lucas
Real Madrid
Vasquez
quality.
to Trent.
that's crazy.
Only Real Madrid could do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now Vasquez
And
should go
Man
to
United.
Liverpool.
Well, listen, Carvajal there too. Like when he went down, people were like, "Okay, it's not terrible." Like we have Vasquez, and then Vasquez decides to.
Last year he was actually decent. It's just
Yes.
this year,
Man.
horrendous.
Correct, like
Fell off a cliff.
black and white compared
Yes.
to him and the rest of the Real Madrid squads.
Yeah.
I have both Real Madrid fullbacks on my team, gentlemen.
That's crazy.
This is how it's done.
That's crazy rage bait, by the way.
Not even here to technically here to defend them, but
I'm
Barber's
not here defending. Well, I defended
The
for
Mendy,
Mendy.
the Mendy one's crazy.
Yeah, that's an ass.
Lucas Vasquez, bro, you got it.
Yeah, I'll take that. So there we have it. We have our 3 complete teams of who we think are currently the most ass players in the world. Boys, how are your teams looking?
So fucking bad.
Pretty bad, but once again, disclaimer: these are all professional footballers. Like this is not
No. Some of these on my team are barely classified as professional
Richarlison
footballers.
maybe, but the rest of them, I don't know. It's a little bit
Ericsson in
harsh.
2025, bro.
Are these the worst teams we've ever drafted?
Yes.
On box to box.
Yes.
No, Pala definitely has some that compete with mine. Like maybe like that Juventus rebuild or something.
A little bit of a rage bait. But before it gets out of hand, we just want to thank our patrons for the continuous support you guys show us week in and week out. Here are your names down here. Boys, take it away.
Like Millie said, thank you to the patrons. We appreciate all of your support, and to anyone else that got to this point, thank you for watching, and we'll see them next week.
Yeah, peace out. We really feel the love. Peace out.